advertising and marketing, the Camini Trail Conference was $404. Contract for iTech services for the printers lease was $761. For the two Phelps towers was $3,254. Mowing was $2,950. And I think that's around the park and so on.
It's the industrial park.
Industrial park, yes.
It hadn't been moved since November.
And the South Texas business, the membership dues was $350. And that is for a total of $147,000.
Any questions for Mr. Gowder or Mr. Reed regarding
The professional mowing, that's for mowing the industrial park.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Is that a one-time
We have budgeted,
charge?
that's a quarterly charge. So we do it every 3 to 4 months. The way it's been done in the past, it was like every month for $1,200.
Yeah.
So we're doing every 4 months for $800 to save on that budget so we could fix other projects out there, which we'll talk about new business development, some mailbox issues that have come up. It's getting real bad with the trash out there, so we'll talk about that, some of the other stuff that Steve can kind of back me on that, hopefully. Yeah, it's a quarterly charge.
Is this something that I know we budgeted that this quarterly, but is that something that we receive bids for, or is this something that we
It's
take
a cut
to
by cut.
contract?
Something that we've done cut by cut.
What does that mean?
Well, it's not over the $24,000 mark, so we didn't go out for bids. We do it like a cut by cut basis. Yeah. So I had multiple people given prices, and that was the best price. But the insurance, a lot of people bid a lot lower, but they didn't have the insurance to cover it.
Gotcha. So yeah, so you did get other prices.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And what is the due to general fund? I guess that's for salaries and
Salaries,
taxes and insurance.
taxes, or like if we paid insurance on one of the bonds, there's a breakdown on that invoice. When Jay comes in, or if Jay can't sign, Danny signs, they look at that invoice and we break it down.
Is there any one number in particular?
No, there's three different items that say the same thing, so I was just
I
curious.
can clarify the very first, well, it's the second item, $42,954.24 is to the city for our salaries for October, November, and December.
And the other one's for
The other $38,286.21 is payback back to the city for our salaries January, February, and March.
So they're supposed to bill us every quarter, and they didn't bill us but every 6 months on that.
So that's just catching it up.
Yes.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
And then the $2,100 that we pay to the city is for accounting services for October through March.
That's $350 a month. We can't almost with a check.
$350 a month, right. And the City of Floresville check for $4,311.24. That is a reimbursement to the city for our desk phones, audit fees, health care reimbursement, and CPR training.
And the last question is the Global One Communications. Is that says contingent fund draw?
That was contingent fund draw because that was the tower inspection because we were out of compliance. We hadn't had a tower inspection done, so we inspected both towers. So we put out the contingent fund draw because we haven't set a line item. So remember we set that 20,000 for extra? So then when we do that workshop and get these salt projects going, we'll make those line items with Cindy and correct that. But that's where she recommended making that payment out of it, her recommendation.
Any other questions?
I did want to, before we close, highlight our sales tax. This time last year was $67,861. This year, we collected $84,058, which from last year, this month, we're up 23.87%, and for the year, we're up 16.04% for the year. So over this time last year, we've collected $91,119 more in sales tax. That will be on top of that, what we budget for, so as long as we hit our budget, we'll put that back into our money market.
If there's no further questions, thank you, Mr. Godin. Let's move on to new business consideration and action approved facade signage grant for Old 181 Bar and Grill, Broken Branch Archery. Is Mr. Chris Messenger?
Yes, I'm
available? Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate the council taking a point. Just stand
Yes,
here.
please. Tell us about your project.
So what we done is, it's 1513 3rd Street. It used to be the old Knights of Columbus building. I'm sure everybody's aware of it. We just repainted the outside, a little bit more infrastructure on the outside, making sure we took some of the rod off and replaced some of the material. Redone the entire inside. We went to Appalachian to get some beautiful white pine, shipped it down here, lined the entire inside of the bow shop and the new barn grill with that. And we decked out the main front there to have a pretty good nice sun that's going to come up on it. It's going to have a 181 barn grill stamped there, and we have the 181 archery that's already there, but it's smaller, so I'm trying to replace that as well. So what we done is we got a list of receipts that I have here to present to you. It just shows us the cost of things. We'd like to apply for the grant for the signage and the remediation of the building, see if you guys can approve that.
So Chris came to us back in October when we first started the project, and we've just been hit and miss, and then he gets pulled out, but in California, so he wasn't able to come last time, and he had a general contractor that was turning the paperwork in, some of that paperwork, to get it more on task. He decided to take it over and brought us up to par with the grant. Now he's up with all his paperwork, so I said that was the time to bring it to the board. And so this is the invoices to where the improvements he's going to do. It was going to add up to almost $16,300 plus the 17. Yeah, because you added some in. There's 2 invoices that they updated. So we're a little around 30,000, I think, you're putting in?
All together, I think was the entire thing.
So my
17 and should be 26.
Inside and out.
Inside, yes, sir.
The outside looks really good. It
Well, thank
really
you.
changed the look of that area there.
Yeah, it's good. I'm hoping that
Yeah, it's all
we
exterior.
got that off Pinterest, just to let you know.
So that's what we did, is we broke it down on these invoices, just the exterior, like the exterior paint, and divided it out, and he was well over the 15,000 for his facade part of it, which is the part facing, coming in from the park, the Con Park, they're right there by Smith Propane, and the front of the building, so over 50% of the facade on it. So he had met over the 15,000, so the recommendation was to fund him for the $7,500 reimbursement once he's complete, and turn in all the paid invoices.
When do you plan to open, sir?
June 1st now. Not the archery shop, unfortunately, but the barn grill we're hoping to have active and running on June 1st. I have to go back to California, so while I'm here for 3 weeks, we want to come that's before we get started.
The restaurant and bar will be open?
Yes, sir, it should be, I'm hoping. That is the goal.
They made a post today, I saw a little posting inside, it looks real
Yeah,
nice.
I started hiring people and just saying, I don't know what I'm doing.
Can you tell us a little bit about the overall business model
Sure.
that you're bringing in?
So the inside is, I'm gonna say it's probably close to 3,000 square feet. It has nice old, good nice wood flooring that stages there. The kitchen's in that area. So primarily that section, which everybody has seen before with the Knights of Columbus, that's gonna be the main dining hall. We built like a half an octagon, pretty good sized bar, probably almost as large, if not larger, than both those tables combined. So it takes 2 to 3 bartenders to run it. We're going to line probably 6 55-inch TVs, maybe 8 on the inside. We have an attachment in the back that's about 1,000 square feet that we may in time take that and the gaming things that we have, that just kids things for them to play, and put it in the back, which is connected to that section with the pool table, make that more of a sports bar arena for people who just want to watch the fight or something of that nature. The front of the building, we totally enclose, so there's two entries. The one entry will take you to the bar and grill, the other entry is only for the bow shop or the archery store. There, they plan on having PSC, Bowtech, Easton, Carbon Express. They have Texas to be supported the entire time. We started this little venture basically in Bentwood, and I just didn't think it would take off. I thought it was too hot, really, to shoot archery. I'm from the north a little bit more in West Virginia, so fall time of year, that's something we always did. So I thought it was just too hot here, but there's a lot of archers. A lot of people get into the sport. It took me by surprise, and really a lot of real nice, good people. They just come out and need maybe a little bit of assistance. So we decided to bring them more to a town where we had some more commercial property. And even in this, like on Wednesdays and Tuesdays, when we're closed at the bar and grill, we're going to pretty much excavate the tables and have indoor targets for people to be able to shoot and air conditioning and get their sights and everything up, get ready for the season. That's the plan. Plus, we're going to do like maybe an outside patio too. About 3,000 square foot, we're going to probably end up doing an outside patio as well. But that'll be during the fall time of year, I'm sure.
And he's still, for the record, he's still working on those by appointment only when he's back in town. So if you know anybody that has it, even though he's not completely open there in Bentwood, he comes down, meets them dark, dirty, and fixes their stuff on a call basis. So we get that number out to people. They call me, I send it out to people, and enjoy it.
Yeah, we'll try to, like, if I'm in California, I'll make 2 weekends, I'll fly back home for a weekend, and I'll try to get caught up the best I can, and then get back out for a while. Hopefully, this will be the last year that we're under this obligation, and next year we'll be a little bit more free to tend to the archery side a little bit more.
When are you going to open the archery site?
I would love to open it up this year if I could. I'm just afraid that I haven't trained a technician that is skilled, and I hate to let people down. So it's something that people put a lot of money into, they take a lot of pride in, and if you're not there, it just gives you a bad reputation. So if we do open, it's going to be one of those things, I may not have a whole lot of merchandise in there this year, but this January we go to the ATA, which is in Louisville, and we'll stock up on everything. These organizations that I used to own a shop like 10 years, so that's when you go and you do your large purchases. That's when you do the mass product and you bring the archery sites and the land drivers and the Q80s and things, and you start stocking the walls and look at new equipment, see what's out, bring it in, and have it for the next year. So I'd love to have the archery going full strength by 2023. Isn't even partial for 2022.
We look forward to it, so I'll be one of your customers, not on the archery parking.
I've noticed that like all the parking areas, 25 cents, you can hit every restaurant bar up there, so you're in good shape. I mean, good parking, no problems.
All right, you need a recommendation for bid, what is your
Yeah,
recommendation?
recommendation is to fund it for the whole 7,500. We broke down the percent. It exceeds the 15,000 just for the white pine that he put out and the Sherman-Williams paint for 50% of the building. If you add it up, I think it adds up to over $25,000.
Recommendation by staff is to approve $7,500 for the facade grant for the old 181 bar and grill. Is there a motion to that effect? So moved. So moved by Mr. Brewitt.
Second.
Second by Mr. Denbosko. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much, sir, for being here.
Thank you.
And we look forward to your opening.
Thank you.
Excited about the archery.
Yeah. Well, they started if you follow 181 Archery online,
I didn't know they were online.
so they're on Facebook. So
Okay.
and today, man, he got some people involved and made some pictures, and man, it went like a lot of likes today.
It's scary.
Yeah, it does. I told him, I said, be careful, because they did a couple of businesses, and when you do it, be ready, and they did it, but they gotta be ready now.
Well, see, I did say July 1st, and after I saw that one, no, it's gotta be June
Yeah, you
1st.
can do that.
Well, we drive by and we're like, are they open yet? When are they opening?
Yeah, we're hoping to be, and hopefully it'll go well. I'm really hoping it is, and we got some good people that know better than I do, so I'm gonna leave it up to them, but I'll support them the best I can. Okay. I hope so. Guys, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Ben, do you need anything else from me?
No, sir, you're free to go.
All right,
Thank you for coming.
thank you, folks.
All right, item B, 3B, consideration and action approve the facade and signage grant for Kevin Washing Laundry and Models Laundry. Marty's?
It's Marty's Laundry. He didn't make it today, it looks like, so since he's not here, we table it.
Okay, motion to table, please.
So moved.
Second.
So move. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Pruitt and Mr. Lambert. Okay, 3C, consideration and action to approve facade and signage grant for Cutie Paws Pet Salon. Ms. Lori Rodriguez.
Yes.
Lori?
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Lori Delgarza Rodriguez, and I've been a pet stylist for about 18 years now. I used to reside in San Antonio and I moved to Floresville back in 2006. I've been at my current job for 17 years now. Haven't really missed a day of work, really. So I decided I was gonna move my salon, or that's not my salon, I just manage it. But I plan to open my salon here in Floresville. My kids attend school here. I'm 3 traffic lights away. Before I worked in Helotes. So even after moving to Floresville, I drove to and from Floresville to Helotes every day almost for about 16 years. So now I just feel it's time. I guess I'm getting older and the drive is getting to me now. And I want to open up here in Floresville where I'll be closer to my kids and also be able to provide pet service for our local residents here in Floresville.
Okay, tell us, where is your salon? I see it's on 10th Street. Give us,
Yes, it's on 10th Street. It's in between the Dollar General and the Tractor Supply.
It used to be the
okay, on the strip.
mesquite cleaners.
Yes, sir.
Where mesquite cleaners used to be, up by Tractor Supply. She's occupied now, so you tell me what mesquite cleaners.
Yes, it used to be where Mesquite Cleaners is, or used to be. So far, we have invested about $20,000. So I was just hoping with the advertising that I've done, y'all would be able to give me some relief of that amount with this grant.
So when do you open up?
We plan to open the first week of June. So we're gonna we purchased kennels, 25 kennels is what we're gonna start with. My husband does masonry work, so he's gonna put up some rock wall for me, just in the lobby area. We've ripped out the current carpet that was there, and now we're gonna do tile flooring, which would make it easier for the cleanups of all the pets that we're gonna house there. I also do services on pigs, birds as well, cats, dogs.
You do
So-
services on pigs?
Yes, we do bathing and, yeah, we do bathing, their ears cleaned, their hooves filed, and I've even had,
They
I'm sorry.
follow the hooves and they do like a pedicure.
Yes,
There are potbelly pigs, there are mini pigs that they have.
Gotta get you one for Christmas.
we've even
She
painted their
painted on the
toenails.
pink. She has a pink, she has a picture.
Yes, we paint their toenails if their owners want their toenails painted on all of them, the cats, dogs. The birds is kind of tricky, I can do it, but it is kind of tricky. I know how to clip the wings of the birds, parrots really. So I own a macaw myself, a blue and gold one. I have plenty of training on that. I also have an African gray that I clip her wings also, so I know how to do that. I know how to file their nails so they're not too sharp when they land on you. Cats, dogs, we do anything from bath to haircuts to the de-shed treatment as well.
Those are good specialties, and I don't
Yeah.
know that anybody else in Floresville offers
I didn't know
those
that you
specialties.
could take the hair off of a
So,
pig and it regrows.
You
I didn't
can,
learn that.
and maybe turn, and make sure you include that in your advertising, because
Yes.
So,
that's important.
What's your recommendation?
so we took out the business cards that didn't need facade and we came out to a total of $3,649.51. Divide that by 2, my recommendation is $1,824.75. Now what I had, is there anything else that you're thinking about doing? You added all this stuff, like window stickers for
Yes.
advertising?
The window stickers is in there as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
Lucky Dog graphics.
Yeah, I saw that. I just want to make sure not to exceed anything. So my recommendation is for the 1824 76.
Okay, recommendation by staff is to approve $1,824.76. Is there a motion to that?
I make a motion.
Ms. Martinez. Second. Mr. Jackson, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Congratulations and thank you very much for
Thank you.
providing those services here.
Yes, sir, thank you for your time and
Thank
understanding.
you.
Thank you.
I'll be in touch, Lori.
Okay, sounds great, thank you.
Yeah, man. She said she's gonna say that, so you're gonna get a lot of questions then.
When is Danny's birthday?
I actually have enough belly pigs that I can give everybody one.
All right, consideration action approve marketing and advertising sponsorship for the Lions Club Golf Tournament and car show in the amount of $1,500. Sylvia Madero, thank you for being here.
Thank you for.
Is this your
allowing me
first
to be
golf
here.
tournament?
Pardon me?
Is this the first golf tournament?
No, we had a golf tournament last fall.
Last year, okay.
Yes, sir.
I didn't remember that.
And we hope to have another one this fall. As you can see, since I'm here representing the Floresville Lions and the Floresville Car Show that is going to be held July 25th and the golf tournament to be held in the fall. For the past few years, we've had the car show at Courthouse Square, and that is where we are intending to have it again this year. Because of COVID, we were not allowed for 2 years to have it. I am here requesting and hoping for and soliciting your assistance to advance and promote the downtown area. There are over 24 restaurants, 24 businesses in the downtown area that we as a community need to support and promote in order to bring the community and the businesses together. The best restaurants in Floresville are located in the downtown area. The Lions are requesting the FEDC for a possible marketing sponsorship in the sum of $1,500 to promote and advance the Floresville downtown area. The funds raised from the car show and the golf tournament are returned to the Floresville community 100% in the form of scholarships, eye exams, and glasses for those in need. Disasters such as the one in Sutherland Springs, hopefully that will never happen again, and other disasters. It gives us the ability to send mentally and physically challenged children to the Texas Lions Camp in Kerrville for 1 week, free of charge. And the entire time that they are there, they are supervised by 2 volunteer counselors 24/7. It says we also help, in addition to that, we make financial contributions to the various organizations who give service to those in need throughout the Wilson County. And y'all did help us a few years ago, and I'm here again. But this time, asking for it in behalf of also the golf tournament, which we did have in the fall of last year and was very successful.
Okay, you're talking about 2 events? with
Yes, sir.
$1 round.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the tournament is when? What dates?
The car show is June 25th, and the date, I'm sorry, it's supposed to be October. I think it's in October, but I can get you the date.
So what happened was, is they had an event, they couldn't have the car show, but we refunded it, the previous history, and then they reapplied for the golf tournament. So as a group, they reached out to me and said, look, we really appreciate the marketing dollars to put as a sponsor for these events. So they just kept it the same. They're going to split as a group, half to the golf tournament, half to the car show. So our FEDC logo will be on multiple events in June and in October.
And your recommendation then?
It's to fund the $1,500 as we've done, I think, for the past 4 years now.
Right. 2 years.
So and what I really like about this, what I really am excited for this one is, you know, we haven't ever had a place to do what they call the Floresville Children's Business Fair. The first year they did it with Ms. Turner, it was at the event center, and then the event center got booked. So they moved, it's like the Makers Fair for children, where they bring small businesses, entrepreneurs. And remember, they went to Pecan Park, and they walked around Pecan Park, and some kids, they like get a table, they rent it for like $5. I don't know the amount, don't quote me on it. And then they have a table, they sell paintings, artwork, soaps. I was amazed what some of those kids did as young entrepreneurs. Well, they needed a place to call home. So in the past, they had a market down there. Well, now they're partnering with this car show, and that Makers Fair will also be downtown on the Corp. So it fits right in line with what our marketing is, not just for the businesses, but for our young entrepreneurs to home grow them. So really excited about that, this car show.
Barbecue makers?
Maybe. A mini barbecue. Hey, you can have a mini barbecue out there with your thing, and any kiddos that want to. So Ms. Sylvia's want to talk to you. So that's my recommendation.
Any further discussion? If not, let's have a motion to approve the $1,500 for the Lions Club.
I make a motion to approve the $1,500.
Motion by Ms. Martinez,
Second.
second by Mr. Brewer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, and we look forward to being there.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, then we're going to have a workshop on the Phelps project.
Yeah, so I've talked to many board members in here probably over the last couple of months, but even more so as we've been keeping the property up to date. They've seen some activity out there and all the new business coming in. Well, it's that time where we need to really set some workshops, kind of roll up our sleeves. So I want to see if we could set some workshop dates or what looks available for y'all. Because some examples, reached out to companies like Courage Ranch that maybe wants to have an office locally here in town to do some counseling with the incubator project. Then I've had other people reach out that want to do like mini restaurants, like Scooters, like we're in the trailer right now, but how do we move into like a small storefront to have like a grab and go burger place or things like that? So that's come across the table. We talked to Mr. Del Bosque here recently, talked to Mr. Castro, Isaac Castillo, what's his last name, Castillo? Maybe wants to, he's finishing up where he can be a licensed barber to have a school. So that has come across the desk. So we just have a variety of different things. So we need to set that workshop and look at what LPA designed for us, narrow it down for the incubator, narrow down what we're going to go after first. I have a couple of businesses that have reached out for the restaurant side on the operations. So we put the RFP out to really knock down the tenant for the restaurant side and set our parameters for the event venue and the pickleball area. So in order to kind of get that going, set some workshop dates, get a timeline set together, and keep updated and stay on task now.
Okay, what dates are you looking at? How far ahead are we?
I'd like to do some in June. I know people are traveling, so we meet June 11th on my calendar.
It's a Saturday.
Not June 11th, that's the next agenda item, I'm sorry.
13th.
We meet June 13th.
Are we able to do it similar to the way we did it today with
That's what I'm saying, do you want to do a workshop prior to the
to the
13th?
regular meeting? I think that makes it easier for everyone to attend.
June 6th?
June 13th, we'll do a budget, we'll do a Phelps project workshop prior to our meeting on June 13th. I think it's
something we can get knocked out in 1 hour.
Probably not. I would think we need one by itself.
Yeah.
Could we pick another date? Maybe.
Well, I was just the first one that we set the timeline of what order of events, right? And then from there, we break down the dates on how we're going to go about it. I mean, we got to set like a timeline of what we want to do. I mean,
So we're having a workshop to develop a workshop.
no. Yeah.
That's what we're doing, right? So there's nothing wrong with that.
No, yeah, just set a timeline. So
Yeah.
our first workshop is not going to be, shouldn't be long, as you set our timeline.
Okay.
And then once we have 1 through 5, then we set our dates, and then we really get in the meet where we're going to meet for a couple hours.
Okay.
Your timeline and your agenda.
Yeah, and then we'll set dates to it, and then everyone put on their agenda, but we just got to have that first initial, this is our top 3 projects we're going to tackle, to 5 projects out there, I believe, and then,
Are we at liberty to discuss where we are in the grant process with?
yes, we are. I talked to Ernie, and one of the grants got delayed, and the other one, he's been put in, and he's going to come to in June and update us on that. So,
So how will we find if we don't get the federal funding?
well, that's where in the workshop, we know we have $618,000 about $600,000 to work with. So we tackle with that $600,000 what we know we can tackle and set that timeline and then phase it in.
Is this the only project that Ernie, is it MCM?
No, he's got multiple grants. We went with TxDOT for our signage and facade grant, not signage and facade, our branding and entrance sign to the city.
Mhm.
So we finally narrowed down that location, which is 331 at that corner, kind of where the Longhorns are at, 331.
Mhm.
TxDOT, we narrowed down that location to put a sign coming to Floresville. So that grant is in the works with TxDOT. We met with, Charlotte can help me on this one. We've met with so many the last couple of weeks.
It was just Ernie and Janice to explain.
Yeah, Ernie and
what-
Jess,
what
the timelines. And then I met with the Texas Economic Development of the state of Texas. We met with them. And
Is it possible to provide an outline of the meetings that you had the previous
can.
month? That way we can kind of get an idea of what's in the works. Because I know that you guys have been busy, but if we knew where the activity was, what the focus has been on, I think it would give us all a clearer picture.
I will have that outline with Ernie of what we're working on and where he's at too, to
Right.
justify the payment to him as well.
Thank you.
Anything else, Ben? I will need a motion to approve a workshop date, which is June 13th, you said? Okay, June 13th.
At 5 o'clock before our regular meeting. Okay.
Make a motion that we schedule a workshop on June 13th, 5 o'clock prior to our regular board meeting to discuss agenda and timeline for the Phelps project.
The downtown.
Motion by Mr. Levoska for June 13th. Second to that? Second. Second by Mr. Bruin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item F, consideration and action to approve a budget for community market days to be held on Phelps downtown location on Saturday, June 11th.
So those are things that Cindy had to go, I wanted to talk about. Behind that, we'll remove the market to June 11th. In order to set a budget to come out of, I believe it would come out of small business or marketing downtown, because we're marketing the Phelps building to put out storyboards with LPA that they could print. I didn't want to exceed $2,000 to bring in a band afterwards, so they were going to, the goal is to have the market from 9 to 2, but let them stay open as late as the band. I know Andy's still kind of working like a summer music series. We could tie this in with the city. They put together a Cinco de Mayo event that was really successful, and then they have, I don't know if they have anything planned for May, but June, since we already have the market days down there, we could work with the city to have a downtown market days, summer music series, bring in like, we reached out to Small Town Habits. There's a local band that plays also at White House Cafe called The Revolution, and draws a pretty good crowd out there. Real reasonable, I think they were like $200 they said they would do it for. And then Small Town Habits would give us a price. So that way we could lock down the bands that come out there, kind of showcase what that stage area would look like. Market days would go 9 to whenever the bands get done playing, start 5, 6 o'clock, if that's something that y'all wanted to do. Then we would have a timeline where we would email out to y'all saying, hey, this is the timeline, let y'all kind of overlook it and give it. But until we kind of got a glimpse that we wanted to do that tonight, then we would put a better, more firm schedule together. So then the bands would come on, play 6 to 7, and come out play like 7, 8 o'clock till 9, put a DJ in between. So we have a DJ going, a small little band playing, and end it with like Small Town Habits or someone like that to end the night. Throughout that, we could give tours of like the incubator project. We have that small building inside. We could put the storyboards inside that really nice building. People could walk through there and say, hey, this is what the facade is going to look like, our goal. Because by then, we'll have a workshop after on that Monday, but we already have our storyboards that we have approved and our layouts. and just let the community kind of see where we're going and what that building was purchased for.
Ben, on that date, is that a date that we chose, or is that a date that coincides with when they normally have?
That's the date that they already have the market. So as part of, we did the layout of it, put in a farmer's market and a market inside that concept with the food trucks and the market on the side of the patio in the back. We just we talked about it, I think Randy emailed, and we kind of talked in the past about, I think 2 meetings ago, about negotiating with them to move it, and they already have it on that second Saturday, so we're just gonna move that event down there.
Yeah, the reason I'm asking is, I don't know if you've been out here downtown on the third Saturday of every month. There's a car show, and there's a couple hundred people walking around downtown. It's something that the Veterans Group puts together, Coffee, Cars, and Veterans. And if you combine both of those events, that would bring a lot of people downtown.
I know, I brought both of them to the table. They don't want to move from the third Saturday, because that's
Who's they?
The 3rd Street, like the Carvel Coffee on 3rd, because it's the 3rd Saturday. She already has her advertising out for the second.
Market days.
Market days, the second
Market
Saturday.
days.
Yeah, at some point, if we compromised on a date, I think it would really be helpful if
Yeah.
market is going to be downtown, because they bring in a lot of people on the weekends.
And we're trying to also, with the market, Lavernia has their market on the 1st and 3rd Saturdays of the month. And on the 3rd Saturday, they have Wilson County Trade Days. And now there's an artesian market on the 4th Saturday. So the only day to do a market to where these vendors will show up, because they're already committed to the Lavernia market, is the 2nd Saturday. Now, that's why we were trying to ask the car show in the past if they would move their car show up to the 2nd Saturday, and then we'd have it downtown, but they want to keep it on the 3rd on 3rd Street. 3rd Saturday on 3rd Street.
And my concern would be, since this is the first time we do it downtown, why don't we build up the clientele and then spend some more money on music, as we build up.
Yeah, as I said, so if we don't want to do a thing, that's what I wanted to bring to the table. So if we just want to move the market, just have that from 9 to 2, have our first event,
And develop the crowd.
Develop a crowd and maybe, sponsor a DJ or something just from 9 to 2, or not do anything. And then once we have the crowd developed, then do it. I just wanted to propose that if y'all wanted to do that, we could. If not, just,
I think that's a great idea, but I think for the first time,
Okay.
let's develop that's my thought, develop the
You've
clientele.
got 2 different crowds as well. You've
Yeah.
got the market
Right.
crowd, and then you've got your evening crowd.
Okay.
Just thinking,
So keep it small, first.
I'd like to,
program.
at least there,
That's
at
my
least
thought.
put in a budget of like $500, because we're gonna need the bathrooms get up and going with the turn on the connection fee of $75.
I don't think we need to be cheap on it, we just need to make it smaller. I
Yeah,
mean, if
that's fine.
need
We
to
won't
spend-
do a music, we'll just do 9 to 2, get it up and going, showcase the facility from 9 to 2, and then later on we can.
If we
do
spend the extra money, say we spend $1,000, but you spent it on.
Getting the facility kind of cleaned
Yeah,
up
and
and saying,
informing the people what,
Yeah.
what we have, getting the tours, having,
the storyboards,
Yeah.
all that.
Because it will need to be cleaned in
Yeah.
a lot of those areas.
And then we have,
Are we ready for June then?
yeah,
You think so?
once we know today what the plan was, it's going to be a lot lighter, because we don't have to go the extent to clean some of the stuff in the back area in the front. So we're just going to get really that back area, get everything moved out, get it cleaned up. So that's all we're going to walk in and have.
So the market would be in the parking lot, or would it be in the building?
Well, some of the vendors will be in the building, in that middle area, and then we'll have roped off.
So
So
is air
that,
conditioned in there?
Yes.
yes.
Behind the stage area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have bathrooms down there that we're going to get cleaned up. They have bathrooms in the bottom facility down there. And then we also have the bathrooms we're going to get opened up and open the gates up on C Street. So the outside market people will use the outdoor bathrooms that are on the side of C Street. If you've never used the bathrooms at Phelps, they're on the exterior part of the building. So those 2 bathrooms will be open and they're handicap accessible. And then we have all the toiletries, all the cleaning equipment. Like, we don't have to buy all that. That was all left in there.
We gotta make sure it's all operable too.
Yeah,
we need
and then,
to-
so that's some things that, once we know we want to do it, to brand downtown the city, what we would
So
add.
you think we're ready for June? To do it by June?
I think we could get it done. Just need to hire someone.
Okay, but if not, I mean, we can push it off to July.
I think if we do it in June, it's a good small dry run. So any failure would be mitigated by the fact that it's a small dry run. And, but it'd be good to do a stress test, right? So we've got 30 days to get it ready.
So we all have the paper, we can get it ready, we haven't built anything yet.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think it's worth, doing.
Derek and Lauren that run the Floresville Community Market are gonna jump on board and help with getting it and bringing some of the guys on. We've been helping Andy with the park, so I'm gonna return some of those favors, hopefully, on moving some of that equipment out there. And I think it's gonna be a good dry run. I thought about it. We sat down at the community market. We have Celebrate America that second Saturday going on with 4th of July. And then if you get into it, we can maybe come back in August and do like a downtown back to school bash, really cool.
Okay, so how much do you want to allocate, or where do we have to get the money from?
I was gonna take out all the marketing dollars that we have.
Okay, how much?
I was saying 500, but David said 1,000.
Are you still doing the storyboards?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna
Hey,
need,
we just said 1,000.
Well, I just don't think we need to go cheap on.
I mean, it would do not to exceed, I got it loud and clear, we're gonna make like
Good
a,
paper towels.
we'll make sure to have a better, I'll have a better spreadsheet, I gotta get better at that.
You know, I'm usually pretty cheap.
I know, when he said 1,000, that's what he said. I was looking,
That's just usually, David.
Always, always.
All right, $1,000 per bid for the downtown
I think that's low.
community market days.
well, Charlotte, what do you think? 1,500?
Because those storyboards are gonna be costly.
What's the storyboard? What is that?
it's gonna
That was
actually
a picture of
be,
the park? I don't think they're that.
yeah, it's gonna be actual renditions of what you're planning.
Oh, okay.
And then
Renditions
they
are
can
gonna be the front, the
used
side,
multiple times, so.
we have 5 of them. We're gonna have the front, the side of the building, what the deck looks like, what the incubator is gonna look like, and there's 6 of them, the whole layout of the area. And the last one's gonna be a layout of maybe the future restaurant.
Is the market going to have expanded?
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Is the market going to have expanded food and beverages since they have an expanded location now?
Good idea.
Food trucks or
I thought you said you wanted to keep it small.
Yeah, man.
Well, because I think the food truck and the beverages would fall on them as opposed to
Yeah.
falling on us,
No,
right?
they'll be able to bring, now you'll have some space to bring.
Now you have space to actually put them.
Exactly, you're correct.
And if there's a food truck at your place, you can.
Bring it, he'll come, he'll come.
Well, we've got this new bandit.
Scooters can come right across. We got and if y'all haven't tried that new place, I'm about to make a post this next week, Mr. Bell. I mean, they got some of the best fried fish.
Is that at Bauman's?
No, that's like a hamburger barbecue type place, but the one at, Melissa has.
Is that the one outside Mr. Johnson?
Yes, the Guns and Glamour, they have like fried fish sandwiches, man, they're $8 are really good.
And burgers.
And burgers.
Okay, bid says for $1,000.
Not 1,500, y'all waited too long.
No?
Charlotte,
I'm like,
6 storyboards. You want 6 storyboards?
we don't have to go to LPA. We already have the design from them, I can get it made.
I mean,
Yeah, 1,000 is fine.
He says 1,000 is fine. He said 1,000 is fine.
make a motion that we allocate $1,000 out of the marketing fund, is that right? To be used towards the market days on the second weekend in June.
And with the note that we're gonna try to bring those together in the future.
Yeah, in the future, we'll talk about
We'll have a
getting
workshop with everyone.
compromise and just, I think.
Rotate
both.
it. We can rotate it. Second, third, second, third.
Motion by Mr. Del Bosque, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Gauna. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Future agenda items.
Okay, so I would like to add on, thank you, Lana. With the cutting the grass, we go out there quarterly. We haven't had a lot of rain and weather, so we hadn't cut the grass out there since November. I do forever try to go out there with the grass being tall. I think they average about 5 to 10 bags. It was closer to maybe 15 trash bags and long pieces of like 4x4s. You could build houses with some of the stuff they throw out there in pallets. And if I know whatever kind of dip they make in the oil field, it's out to the side of the road. And but So we're cleaning that up, but I have to send some literature to those owners about how to keep that place clean, that it's owned by you and us as a team. It's not run by the county to keep those areas clean. So I want to put out some literature with Sylvia and have some mailing. And then the other cost is, I've talked to a few, and then I've talked to Steve a little bit as well. He has a business out there. If you haven't been out there, there's a lot of theft going around the mailboxes. A lot of people are scared to put their mail out there. When they planned it, they just have a row of like 30 mailboxes. And so I like to make a motion to add some money into that budget. I don't know what they cost because it just kind of came to the table this week. I had put a call into the postmaster. He said, well, we help install them if you do the cement pad. Steve has been gracious enough to volunteer his employees to help build the cement pads and not charging any labor out there. If we just bought the materials and paid for the mailboxes, get one with the kind of lock and key, if we're going to have the industrial park, we need to upgrade the mailing system out there because of the theft. And people are having their stuff mailed like to their house or to their apartments and things. So
that, and it's like, for what it's worth, it's like 2 posts with two before it. So
yeah, it's like
you close your mailbox lid and it'll fall off. Like this
falls over and they prop it up.
Yeah, it's just the whole setup.
It's like it just grew, and then I want to also send some verbiage out there of when they did it. There's no restrictions, so we have to rewrite some of those common restrictions on how we're going to move some of those signs because they're just like what is that? Like you're drawing like a map with dot to dot.
Yeah.
They're just scattered on that corner where we maybe. Once I get some quotes, put a sign up there and everybody has a 2x3 or a standard size sign they can install later on. If we just build the frame. So.
That's fine, we can discuss it at the next meeting.
You guys want to discuss that?
Yeah, but let's come up with a cost of, what it's going to.
So I want that to be a future agenda item for next month with the cost, putting some money in the industrial park on the signage, literature, and signage, literature, and mailing.
Anything else?
If you find out anything about the labor side of that goes with the pricing, just let me know.
Okay.
I said, we'll donate the labor for
Okay.
To do the work.
Thank you.
Okay, item 4, Ben, Executive Director's Report or update.
So the Phillips project, we've been talking to prospective businesses, and I think that's where we're going to set that agenda item. Why I want to kind of push it. I've had some pretty major steakhouses just be thinking about this. I want to give you all some homework. So we talked about how we could do some RFPs and bring that to the table later on. It's more of a longer meeting. But, with time crunch, not knowing if some of the grant money is going to come through during this budget year, it may come in next year. If we were to fix the exterior of that building, we'll talk about later. But be thinking about a name. Right, that's all I want y'all to be thinking about. What are we going to name that building? Is it going to be like, so-and-so steakhouse tavern at the power station, so-and-so steakhouse tavern at the ice house? Once we have a kind of a name for that. So that's really my update on the project since we've had some steakhouses reach out to us. So it'd be so-and-so steakhouse at the ice house or power station. So be thinking about, as a group, we can come up and how we want to do. Send me some emails, give us some work, send me some emails. Do you want me to put a survey monkey out to the community with some names and let them pick it?
I recommend that we can get the community involved possibly.
Yes.
I'm going to having the final say, but get the community involved.
So y'all can help me come up with like maybe the top 3 to 5 names. We can put a survey monkey, put it out on our Facebooks with the city, our Facebook, something in the paper, and just start getting that talks out there. Hey, we want to rename this the Ice House. That way, when it comes down to it, how'd y'all pick it? It wasn't just us. It was these are some ideas we had.
Can Wilson County News help us with that?
Yeah, I can ask Wilson County News if they can. I'd like to reach out to them and ask them if they could, hey, proposals for names. Please send them in.
Make it a contest.
Yeah.
Make it a naming contest.
That'd be a good idea.
So that's my update of what I want to do there. Make sure you're all on board with that. I think we're on the same page. I really like that naming contest. You never know. I might have a 5th grader come up with a cool design.
So do we have an incentive if they're picked?
That can be a future agenda item. Next meeting, an incentive pick. We'll put that on next week. Pick for naming Phelps building down.
Small token of appreciation.
Yeah. I remember they did that, I was in a second grade here, and it's called The Ghost of Something, and they wrote a book about the two-story school, and they picked the name of the book. The writer came in, someone won the name, and that incentive was they got like a little gift certificate, but their name was like, in the name of the book by this person. It was pretty cool.
Not even consider giving away a pig grooming or something like that.
A groom with pinker nails. That's the first time I've ever seen it. She said, I'm gonna say it. I said, man, they're gonna ask a question. Number two, you're trying to get her under an hour. Number two, the sale of the 2 acres. We've been hitting some road bumps because of how they bought that years ago. We got it clarified, so that everyone in the back that now we're good to go, and we should have a closing date by the 20th, hopefully to get that done. Lennar, we're looking at, we had to postpone that groundbreaking. It just wasn't safe for everyone to be at that Lodi Grove groundbreaking. Tentatively, 26th of this month. Once I have a lockdown date and they send me the flyers out, we email it out to y'all right away and to the community to invite everyone to that. May 5th, I was gracious to be asked to be a panel participant on kind of what we did to help during our recovery efforts during COVID. In our area, was able to, I think we had over 32 cities from Bernie, it was me, a lady from Kerrville, from Freer, one of the commissioners. What we did, it was pretty neat, how we talked about how we set up grants for small businesses, how we did our rubric, how we picked our businesses for our grants, how we helped everybody with the same amount. We went back and helped everyone with the amount before. What we did after COVID by working with Mr. Johnson and the city to open up the event center to have like a showcase, a road show here recently to let people know about all the grants that are available through ACOG. The commissioner from Frill talked about how they did a call center, and then from Kerr, they didn't have as much, they didn't give out any money in Kerrville, in Kerr County EDC, because it's a countywide EDC. All they did was set up a web page. So they talked about their interactive web page, but how we showed how we could build from each other and what we did moving forward. So they're going to give us the links to how they set their web page, how they set up their call center. We're going to share how we did our rubric as a board and our processes that we went through. So was very excited to attend that, be a panel participant on that. Walker Engineering, I'm going to let Charlotte, gave her a task and hitting it head on.
So we will see a Walker Engineering employee. I sent you an email today, I don't know if you saw it. They are going to fix those lights until they work, they're operable.
Free of charge.
100%, free of charge. So they have several lights across the street from you that are operable.
What time did you send out the email?
Excuse me?
What time did you send?
Oh, I just said by
Just the business
owners.
Oh.
Because what they'll have to do is come up, open the light gasket, and if there's any water in there, they have to suck it out with a wet dry vac, and they need a generator because there is no electricity on the exterior of buildings. All the business owners have the electricity, but they have to bring their own generator.
Some of the businesses have let them plug in, but it's up to that business owner to
So I just advised Mrs. Del Bosque, you might hear some noise if there's any issues, and also Louis Rosenberg, since that's the strip they're going to be working on Friday. And they have 6, and they are still waiting for more lights that are coming.
And then we will budget in this next budget cycle when we get down towards Arcadiana. I got some bids coming in from that saw company, because some of the recommendations y'all do, we're gonna cut out those squares. I think the gist of it, y'all want it to look professional, so we're gonna cut out that whole square, and we're getting those bids. So when we get to those 8 lights there, they'll fix the stuff and do it all, but we'll have to just figure a way to lay that concrete. But I've already sent those emails to the person that laid the concrete to see what they're gonna do to make that right, and maybe take action with the city, because that was a city project, but we're just heading that head on because it just needs to be done right. And that's where we're at. The last one is Flow Street Wear. If you haven't seen, these are some of these businesses that have just been popping up. And she's one of the ones that asked too about the incubator, maybe a future store. But she's over there by Fluffs in Mr. Trevino's building. Right there next to Fluffs, in between Home Marketplace on 3rd and Fluffs. There's, we helped with that facade grant where they used to have like that poker room and all that stuff in there. They have a trucking company in there, Fish Trucking. She rented a room and she has some clothing wear that she makes. It's more geared towards like the skater, more
Young teenage.
young teenage.
To young
like-
adult.
So really cool stuff, man. They have their logo on it. So kind of help her get her name out, help her with some flyers. They've come in, and since that happened, maybe we built the skate park years ago. The city maintains it. How we can kind of get back. They used to do like a skate contest out there, and how they can help with that. So really excited about that future market in Floresville. So if you don't have anything to do tomorrow, we're going to walk around 10 a.m. We're going to do a ribbon cutting at Flow Street where to kind of let people know she's open. She's in a one-room thing, but it looks like if you walk straight into the 90s or 80s, man, inside there, it's cool, man. So.
Okay, anything else, Ben, on your goals update or anything?
No, not right now.
Okay, what, my phone's off.
7:13.
Time is 7:13. Anything else we want to talk about? Meeting's adjourned at 7:13.